Welcome to another tutorial. I got inspired by this picture. I don't know why, because it's kind of minimalistic and I like the colors and the gradient in the back. So if you are lazy, you make it like that. You just remove these lines, the power line, and do the rest. But I'll show you also how you can do ground and gradient from scratch. First of all, I convert this to a smart object. When I choose a very fast version, I go to Filter, LUMINAR Neo. It's gonna open. Here we go. Then I go to Edit. Then I go to this radieren. I think it's kind of fix or something in English, I don't know. And I want to remove the power lines. So I just hit that. This is gonna take a while, but it does a really good job. So here we go. Of course, it's not gonna do its job here, but for that we have Photoshop. I'm not gonna do that here because it's kind of not very useful. I really love to do it here for the lines, but not for the rest. So let's hit OK. You can try to do it in Photoshop or compare it with the Photoshop version and just take what you like better. So what we're gonna do now, we do the rest here. So let's make a selection about it. Let's just take that one here. Let's see how it does when we take these little ground black things as well. Then we take a new layer, we go to Edit and just remove it. Hit OK. Does a pretty good job. Control D to deselect. I just want to remove these little clouds, these things here, so we still have here an empty layer. Let's move that up. And I'm gonna do that with the spot healing brush. So just remove that. That's okay. So basically, you can, if you are lazy, you can start from here. But we want to see how we can do that from scratch. You can download the picture from FreePic stock. If you have a membership, you can download it for free. Otherwise, I think you have to pay for it. So let's keep it like so, huh? But we want to do it from scratch. So we still have, or make a group of it. Let's do a group, Control G, and we call it Easy Way. It's the base for the easy way. But now, when we want to do it from scratch, let's move that off. We still have the original picture here. And what we want to extract exactly the same gradient from the background. So what I do, I open my library here. I go into one of the folders you've made. You need to select the folders, otherwise it's not going to work. And we say extract. Then we want to extract the gradient. I hit that up to all lines. So we see here the preview. I don't like this dark here, so I think it's that one. I move that out just to another how it works. I think that's fine. I save it to the library. I'm not going to do that because I did it already, so I'm going to show you that here. We go down here, this pastel journey, that's the gradient I took. So just double click on it, so we have the same background, you see. Made a clipping mask, we don't want to do that, don't want to have that, so I just hit Alt on my keyboard and hover over the line, and click to remove that. So, and what we also have, we don't need this mask because we want a new one, make a new one. Now we see we want to have the gradient exactly from here to here. So we make a selection, approximately this bit over the border to the ground, and make a selection. So if you see now, you can change it, the gradient, according to your liking, but if you like it like so, you can keep it. For a moment we take that up, so we make a Control T just to move it. So now you can see the difference from our gradient to the gradient from the original picture. So if you want it more yellow, for example, you have a bit here more of a yellow in this section. I guess it's about here. So let's see how we can do that. We have it go more to the yellow part. I think it's we already get a preview. We make the saturation a bit more. Oops, let's do this again. Go more a bit yellow, like so. Yeah, it's not bad, I like it. And hit OK. And if you even want to make it a bit more down, you can do it as well. So let's move that a bit down. And that one too. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. We keep it. So Control T and move it back. So we have everything in place like before. We can put that down. So we're working on this now. So we still have this ground here. What we're gonna do now, we take the color of the original picture. So here is the original picture and we want to sample the color. So I take the eyedropper tool, pick it. You can also take your brush and hold Alt and pick it. It's the same way. So we have it now here in the foreground color. I think I could take it a bit more down here. What we're gonna do now, close that. We take a solid color layer with exactly this layer, hit OK. Let's hide our background layer, the gradient, for the moment. Double click on our solid blue layer. Go to Structure of Relief and Emboss, I think it's in English. Then select the pattern here. We scale it to the max and depth is about 83. Then you get this structure here. And also here in the settings, it should be smooth, about 84. So approximately that what you see in the preview. We have those here also. The depth and light mode is on 100. The light from the left, you can also do it from the side, from the right, but it looks better like so. You can change it to another angle if you want. But for the moment, we don't see it that much later on, but it's fine for the moment. So we keep OK. Then we need to do, you need to rasterize the effect. So we go to right click, create layers from effects. You don't need these shadows here, you only need those above. So we select all by holding Shift, Control T. First of all, we make it a bit smaller, we put that up. And down I hold Shift and just move that down in approximately the way I want to have it for our ground. Let's see how that fit works with our background. So if I hold Control and click on our mask here, you see that we are pretty much the way we want to have it. So Control D to deselect. So if you see now, it's just perfect. Let me see if that is off. Control, it's perfect. So I had a really good eye, I see. Now, we select those three, holding Alt, put that on a new layer, and merge them, Control E. So now we can take these off. There's just one single layer. And just to be sure, we click on the layer up here, holding Alt, and put it on that one. And of course, now it's wrong, so we click on the layer mask and go here to the properties panel and say invert is it. So now it's correct. You see? Perfect. And also what we're going to do, we say now they should apply the layer mask. So now it's just that single layer here. What we can now change a bit, we want to make the background a bit, or the lower part a bit darker. So right click, smart object, we go to filter, camera raw filter, then to the mask tools, linear gradient, linear mask, and just put that a bit here, make it a bit smaller, zoom out, and also I want to change the angle a bit like so, and just take the light slightly down, maybe for 22, 23, it's fine. Hit OK. And also what we can do, if you don't like the pattern here, you can also do a little motion blur, go to filter, motion blur, just a bit. It's a kind of too much maybe, we take about 11, hit OK. So it's not that harsh, it looks a bit like smooth, you know. If you want to have it even more blurry here, we can add another filter, go to filter, and then go tilt shift, and put that tilt shift here a bit down. So this section is without filter, and this section here is the transition, and all over there is as much as you want to have it here blurry. So we just want to have it a bit smooth and really soft. So I think I'm gonna take that, zoom out a bit, maybe like so. It's a kind of looking if you after the result, so it depends, you can't see it because it's very light. So let's see what that makes. Zoom in, so we have a little blur here, that's okay. You can also do like a mask on it and make a soft edge on the mask, so you get a smoother transition. But for the moment we keep it like so. So now it's time to add our little car. You either can take a shot of a Phoebe bus. I take my light box here from Pixel Squid, my 3D objects. So I'm gonna add that here from this point. It's gonna add it online. You need to be online to do that. Let's figure out where I put it here. So let's take that down, Control T. First right click, flip horizontally, then we move that down. And of course hit OK. You need to change the angle, so I'm going to reopen that, just put the angle in the right way. That's okay. So if I'm happy with it, with the size and everything, size I can change later, but not the angle, so you need to be sure. So I embed it. Let's embed this. It's gonna embed it. So now we have to fix the color. So there are different ways to do that. You can do a color adjustment layer. Because we have it online, have it here, the tool on board, so I take the neural filters, I go to neural filter, harmonize, and take our ground layer. And the ground layer is, let's see how, I think it's that one here. So it's gonna correct a bit our light and color. And if you're not happy with it, this time I'm really not happy, not doing its job at the same time. So let me see what color we have. We have the cyan, so I want to have it a bit more. Don't forget, that's, you see, it's gonna happen when you don't do a clipping mask, crazy. So don't forget clipping mask, so now we can change it more to a bluish tone. So I think it's fine, looks cool. Okay, and also the problem of neural filters, at least on my computer, is that they are not really corresponding to reopening and saving again, so they're not working. So I always put it in a smart object, and do some camera raw stuff on it. And let's zoom a bit. And just enhance the light about 0.005, a bit more contrast, lights slightly up and the shadows down, white a little more, black a little down, and contrast. Yeah, I think it should be right. Also, I go to the mask, linear mask, and put a little minimal mask here. I just want to have it more bright in front because we are adding a light from the right side. So here we go. So now I'm pretty much happy with it. So on top of this one, we are going to convert it to a smart object, our gradient. Our gradient is now a smart object, and we go to filter, camera raw filter, and we add another mask, linear, and we make the light up. It's a kind of, you know, it's like the sun is shining on the right side. Hit OK, so you see, same we are doing on the background, either in camera raw or both. Let me show you what I mean. First of all, we are on our ground, make sure you're on the ground. Then you just take a new layer. We take this polygon lasso tool, we take about 200 pixels of soft edge, and we just take kind of a shine here, like a, I don't know how we call it. It's like a bottom shine on the floor of on the ground. So then what we do now, we fill it with white color. I hit D on my keyboard to keep default colors black and white here. Then I change with X from forward to background color, or either each way. I hold Alt on my keyboard and click Delete on my keyboard, and I get this white shine. First of all, Control D to deselect, and also Control T to holding Shift to get this off here because of the soft edge. Just keep that off. Hit OK. Then we need to do a clipping mask to our lower because we only want to have it on the ground. You know, you see that happen here? That's fine. And also we change it to soft light. You can look if it's better just to go to normal light and just keep that down with the opacity, but you don't get the structure. That's the problem. So hit that up and go to soft light. You can still go back with the opacity. I think I'm going to change it to 80 because I still want to do a bit of camera raw on the ground. Double click on camera raw to reopen. Go to our mask, add another mask, linear gradient, and just add that linear gradient from here. I think I'm gonna take it a bit soft, so that's why we stretch it, and just let me see how big, just to see how that works. I think it's better than before. You also can do reopen again when we want to make it a bit more dark from the other side. Add another mask, linear mask. Let's do that bit from the ground, like so. And we take the light. I think we're gonna do that even more here. It's too much on the edge, and hit OK. And also I just keep that like so, a bit more from the angle change. Might be a bit too much, but let's keep it. That's okay. If you think this light here, this is our light from the right side, keep it light, is too much, Control T and scale it, you know, because it's gonna soften out. Just move that away. So if you compare to before and after, might be a bit better like so. So if we still think we need a little bit of shine on the lower part of our VV bus, of course we can do that. So this is the VV bus. Let's add another layer with shine VV. We go to we still have white in the foreground, and we take a soft brush, a very small one, and maybe we take it down about opacity to maybe a 50, and just put that, I think we're gonna that like so. Then you can go to soft light as well, Control T, and I hold Shift and Alt same time, so we can straighten that, so it gives it a lot more, not so heavy contrasts. I reduce the opacity still a bit to about 50, so we have a little slight shine below of the car to highlight the car. I think I've just reduced that a bit, like so. So it's time now to add our moon. So let me see where we have our just call that sky, so it's clear. On the sky, we go up and we say moon. I take the brush, take a moon. You can download moons on Moss like crazy from Brush Easy. And when it's time to place objects, it's a kind of important size and a kind of important where. So how you can figure out where to place it. So I usually take grids to see what works, just like get inspired. If you go on this icon here, you see different grids, you know. Sometimes when I place objects, not like a symmetry artwork, like more of a different composition, I use also the golden, I don't know, I didn't call it golden spiral. So this is a kind of important relay. It can make so a big difference. And this is a little tip. If you hold Shift and O, you can just switch between the different possibilities in the same folder. So if I switch to this one, of course, then you get nothing because you have nothing to change. And here, if you hit Shift and O, you get it the other way, you know. So for this composition, I probably placed the moon like so here. Of course, of symmetry in the middle. We have the car in the middle of this shape. And so I probably either I put it here or in the same angle like here in that shape. So let's do that. We keep that here. So just for a reminder. And no, we don't want to do that. So this is now like a guideline. We still are on the moon layer. Take our moon. Let's see what it does when we place it there where the line is. Just figure out where the middle point is. Still here, so we need to change the car, or we just place it on the same line for our moon. So let me see, I still have the opacity of my brush, so we need to make it 100% and do it again. I think I like that place. You just need to move it to the right place on top of the car. Either we change the car to the middle point or we take the moon to the right. So I just take another one. We see where the moon is. This is the middle point of the car. I just click on the moon and go with my cursor, just move that. So I think that's fine. We move that away. And now we want to have a little shine around the moon. So I take another layer under the moon, take a soft brush, and just like about that size. And now it's too much. what you can do now, either you go to soft light, I like that, but it's still a bit too covering because the moon is a shining brush, a true shining brush, so we need to change that. That's why I go to the moon, keep it with soft light, enter here to confirm. I call that shine. And the moon, I'm on the moon mail now, I hold Control and click on the moon, so we get a selection of the moon. Then I take a brush, I take the selection, the quick selection tool, just fix that so we have everything selected. And what I do on the shine now, I hold Alt to do a negative mask. So we only have the shine allowed, but this is too much. So I go to the mask of the shine, properties panel, and say the mask should be only about 50 or so, or 40. Let's do it to 40, 30. So we have a soft shine and not only that, nothing on it. You know, when we hold Alt and click on your, when you click Shift on your keyboard and click on your shine mask, you get it off. So you can control it, how it looks, what you like better. I like it like so. So this is pretty much it. Of course, you can do a lot of it. You can add filters, or probably what we can do, we can go up here, Control, Shift, Alt, E. That's not what I want, Control Z. So let me see what that layer is. I think it's nothing in it, so we'll just move that away. I don't know what it is. So we are on the last layer, visible layer, Control, Shift, Alt, E. That's a stamp up. Convert it to Smart Object, go to Filter, Skylum, Software, so LUMINAR Neo. I use that for like, after I did a composition and I just want to see what I can do with it still. So I keep it like making inspiration, kind of inspiration, you know, what I can do with it. So, for example, when we go here, let me see. I think one I know that might work. I press it, and where we have it. So here we have it, and I think it's kind of that one that I like. Yeah, I like the colors, but I don't like the light. So what we can try, we hit OK. I don't do any changes for the moment, so let's do that. And we can just put the blending mode to colors, for example. So it gives a little bit of soft touch, you know, not that colorful touch. So of course you can do other filters, go to any presets or whatever. You can do it in Camera Raw, or just to figure out what you like most in colors. So I hope you liked that tutorial. I think you are able to do that. And if you do it, just tag me so I can see what you did. I would be very interested to have a look at.